Hey there, Uni-Warriors! Onway Goblin here, once again bringing you the latest in Uni-War action. Welcome, one and all. Super excited to see you. We already got a couple people in the right room here. We're going to jump straight in things today. I'm so happy to see all of you guys here and to be back on live again. We will be presenting you today the Easy Scouting 2v2 semifinals. I've had a lot of requests from you guys in the chat rooms and on the forums. Can you please play more 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4 teams? So this is going to be the first installment in some tournaments like that. We're going to be doing some team tournaments in the upcoming areas. So really excited about all of this. So glad you all could be here. And let's get into some Uni-War action. Before we begin, though, just a little bit of news to cover real quick. They are, in fact, in the presence of the 0.97 update to the game. This is going to finally give us the long-awaited ads for premium content. That means if you don't own any of the new units, if you don't want to spend any money on the coins, the unicoins themselves, you can now have the option to play ads instead. It's been talked about forever. It just got finished with the beta. Zavi says he's worked out the beta kinks and just put the actual completed update up for publication on Android and iPhone. So wait for the Play Store and the Android Store to approve those, and they should be coming up any day now. It's just a matter of the platforms making the approval to the updates. Big stuff in this update too. Not just ads themselves, there's also a couple of other improvements. Players with a score higher than 1700 can now use URL in private messages. That's really going to be useful. You can also split your settings into 2 tabs. You can continue to donate your Bitcoins. There's a couple other updates here that I'm missing that Zavi wanted me to mention to you guys real quick. A couple of big bug fixes have been put out here, by the way. Endgame notifications, there were some duplicated ones. Problems with account login, those have been cleared up. Big thanks, as it says on the forum, to Wormdog and Lodius, big contributors to the release. So thanks to everybody. Super happy to see that the release is finally out. There's a couple of other features on the 1.97. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I actually want to talk about the games right now. Sand 6, that's correct. There is, in fact, green play buttons on the tourney games that you are now entered in when you enter into a tourney on the play. So all sorts of stuff coming up. Really glad to see. The ad thing is, of course, the big deal. It's finally going to make this game 110% non-pay to win, or should I say free to play or skill based, whatever you want, or however you want to put it. It's what we've all been talking about. So with all that said, let's get down into our match. This is going to be the Easy Scouting 2v2 semifinals, and our contestant teams will be the #1 GGers, Base Catcher, the Uniduo, and Terrestrial Swine. So we're going to get our first match of the day set up here between teams Base Catcher and #1 GGers. Talking a little bit about this team's Base Capture, hailing from Germany, comprised of Traveler and DS 1415, both I believe 22 and 2300 level players. I haven't seen this team in action quite yet, but they have been around. They've made an appearances in other tournaments before, coming at the round of 12 in the Risky Business 2v2, also the round of 24 for the Raid and Rescue 2v2, both really, really difficult team tournaments. So for them to get that far, this is obviously them moving up a little bit into the ranks and trying to get their shot at that semifinal appearance. And of course, their competitors, a little bit more of an established team here, the #1 GGers, coming in at a score of 1767. These guys have been around for a while. I think they've been in the they're definitely still in the number 10. They're within the top 10 of the top 2 of 2v2 teams. They've been around a while. They've also made some pretty impressive tournament appearances, coming in at 2nd place on the Red Moon 2v2. Also, round of 24 for Omen of Betrayal 2v2 and Unknown Life Form 2v2 round of 24. So big team players here, Niglord and Hrafnara. Really, really, really competitive team players. I haven't seen them make big waves on the 1v1s. These guys are strictly team competitive. So we'll have to see how. I'd put the #1 GGers as the favorite group of this match, but I'd love to see Base Capture pull an upset and make it up into the grand final. It'd be a big step up for either of these teams, hungrily eyeing that spot down. And of course, the map is going to be bypassed by player Qual. I love the layout of this map. Some players really don't like the road layers out. We're going to be starting with an initial credit count of 100 credits per player, with the credit count of 150 per base. This is going to be a very big Center control is the name of the game here. Being able to control the rings, working and coordinating to make sure that no one player gets too strong a position, making sure that you get natural captures in the center as well. A lot of different factors here. Ooh, whoa, not what I wanted to do. Of course, start that out here like that, right? Hold on 1 second, everybody. Let's get back to our tournament page. Active. Technical problems already with the Omni Goblin channel. That's the way it works sometimes. There's 3v3, and we really need tournament filters. Good gosh, I hope that's in the next update soon. Where was I? Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, folks. So with that said, these bases especially, you have to make sure that you get the natural captures. We're going to be playing a roundup. It's going to be a Sap team for base capture, and a Krallian Titan team for #1 GG. It's going to be a really interesting combination here. I'm interested to see which one. I have a feeling that the Sapien is naturally a little bit stronger because of the mobility of the Marauder, but there's a lot of roads here, even for the Marauder. The speeders can do a lot of damage here, and the Krallians can get to the center very quickly. So we'll just have to see. Keep in mind there's also these ocean tiles right here that are going to block any air traffic from making it through. So we'll have to go. I believe amphibians can still make that round, can go onto the deep ocean though. So let's get this game underway, playing on the north right side as the Black Sapiens from Team Base Capture. It will be DS1415 and his teammate. Sorry, that's not his teammate. Having a little bit of a. Come on, really? Sorry, guys. Technical glitch while I'm doing my intros. Here we go. And his teammate playing in the southern left side as the Blue Sapiens. It will be for Team Base Catcher Traveler. And, of course, their opponents playing on the northern right side as the Yellow Krallian. It will be Niglord from #1 GGers. And his teammate playing on the southern right side as the Red Titans. It will be Rafnara. Very right, so let's get this playing underway. We're going to be opening with Marauder, and then Underling, Mecha, and then another Marauder. So these Marauders are going to be very valuable in getting to the center. It looks like Team Base Capture immediately opting to try and get some city control early on in this game. Do see the Swarmer coming out with a push from that Underling as well. Out comes the Speeder from Hofnara. Now the response from DS1415. Looks like they're going to try and soak up those city tiles for as much as they're worth. Maybe get an extra kill here. And it looks like he's going to go for an early kill and try to block in that Speeder here. Interesting decision from Traveler. A little bit risky to leave that Marauder so exposed. Even out on that position, it's got that negative defensive penalty. And now Hofnara getting a very nice 3-to-1 exchange on that Marauder. That Marauder is in a lot of trouble. It's going to be trapped here. Now this double Marauder combo here. Getting a very nice 5-shot against that Swarmer as well. And it looks like Team Base Capture just able to get that Marauder out here in the back. Traveler now going for his first capture. And we have now Niglord is going to be making his capture as well, trying to keep that Swarmer from harm. See if he can get another shot and keep that Marauder from his effectiveness. And he's hammering down on that Marauder, but the Marauder is on the health tile. He'll be able to regenerate that health very quickly. Here comes Hrafnara now. Still trying to hammer away at these Marauders, but I don't think he'll be able to get killed just here yet. Team Base Capture doing a very good job of blocking out Hrafnara from making his base capture. Now, can Team Base Capture prevent that base capture from this Underling? I think they have just enough forces in with the gang up here that Underling is going to go down, and we might just see Team Base Capture take the base advantage early on round 5. Now that blue Marauder going to be making a nice kill here, and Team Base Capture taking a very nice 300 over 0 credit advantage with the extra base and the base attempt capture from Team Base Capture as well. Here comes the response from Niglord. He's going to be using these Swarmers to try and kill one of these Marauders, and the Marauder kill comes out, but will it be enough? He really needs that base capture almost immediately. Here come these Swarmers. It looks like they'll get a second Marauder kill. Big Marauder kill here. That might be very valuable, but still no base captures coming out from these teams. Keep in mind that base capture has also gotten a couple of extra credits from sitting on top of those cities early on in the game, so they've got a pretty decent, it says 5 to 4, but it's more like a 700 to 400 credit advantage, I'd say, on the part of team base capture. Well, more like a 6 to 500, I'd say. Now here comes team base capture. Getting a nice 4 to 4 exchange. And with that, Marauder should be able to clean up very nicely. Got more Marines and Marauders being pumped out on the map. No need to really mix it up for the Marine Marauders. They seem to be working. Why fix what does? And there's the GG from Team Base Catcher. A little bit of an early GG here, but I can see where I could see why number 1 GGers would surround this matchup. They're already at a pacing disadvantage with the double base capture. It's going to be pretty difficult for them to continue, but we still have 6 whole rounds here, so we're gonna have to see how the next round. I still think this was a bit of an early GG. Could this game be turned around? I don't think so, honestly. Like I said before, Team Base Capture had both cities, so that's an extra 150 credits. Put that on top of their advantage with the extra bases, and we're talking about what looks like a 650 over 500 is really more like a 900, 1,000 over 500. And with those Marauder pushes, it's just not going to work out for number 1 GGers on this turn. We'll have to see if they do better in the next rematch here on the second game of the series. So first game of the series going to the number 1 GGers. Sorry, not the number team. First game going to Team Base Capture with a 6-round victory, and it looks like the number 1 GGers going to have to take their victory within 6 rounds in order to stay afloat. Let's move on directly into the next match here. And I agree with some of the comments I see in here. I do think the Marauders are unfair on this map, but that's just the way the game is played. There are ways to get around the Marauders here, I feel. We'll have to see how it works out. So working into the second game here now, just a thing to keep in mind. Is this the same game? Hang on, I feel like I accidentally selected the wrong game. There we go. So we got round 5 in 6 rounds. Yeah, same one before. My bad. There we go. Now looking on to our game 2, we're going to have Niglord taking the first round, and now Traveler taking the second, then DS1415 taking the third, and Hrafnara taking the fourth. This dynamic could really change things up. I'm going to make this guy a little bit smaller. He's getting in my way a lot. There we go. Excuse me. How do I get rid of this? There we go. Excuse me. So, I think giving the Crawlian player the first round play could make a big difference. It could give him that opportunity to get that early foothold and keep those Marauders at bay. And I think that's what Niglord and Hrafnara are really going to have to do here if they want to take this win. Within 6 rounds is possible. I really think they can do it. Without any further ado, let's get the game out underway. Playing on the left-hand side as the Blue Crawlians for number 1 GGers, it will be Niglord. And his opponent playing on the northern left-hand side, playing as the Black Titans, it will be Hrafnara. I like saying that name, it's fun. Playing on the right-hand side on the northern place will be 14 Base Capture Traveler. And his teammate playing on the southern side for the Red Sapiens, 14 Base Capture, will be DS1415. Hey, it's Soli. Soli, welcome to the game. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Soli's MVP player in the house, everyone. Let's get this matchup underway. Now, Niglord taking his first round pick with the Underling. Very wise decision to go Underling. He needs that Underling to get that base capture before it can be prevented by the Marauders. Now pushing that Underling. Can the Underling make the capture? That is the pivotal role here. These Marauders are going to be able to immediately place down to the south here. Those Marauders are going to make it really, really difficult, but it's... As long as that Underling is alive, Niglord has a shot at making this game work. And now here comes Hrafnara to support his teammate with that speeder on the nice health tile here. And that might be just enough to scare away with that swarm of those Marauders. Will those Marauders dare to make the base blocker? Will they sit back instead on top of the cities, gaining some nice credit advantages? Now number 1 GGers. A little bit up behind on the pacing, but he will take advantage of that Marauder sitting on the negative, on getting a big -5 to -1 shot. And that Marauder will take a huge penalty for defensively on that city. And now here comes the base capture attempt from team number 1 GGers, and it looks like it just very well might be successful. I don't know if he has enough space to get on block that attempt. And now here comes base capture. He will be using that Marauder Traveler to block that mecha from making the capture itself. Now here come the Marauders. Will it be enough, though? They don't think they have what it takes to take down that Speeder. The Speeder will stand. However, Traveler will be making the capture alongside. So number 1 GGers keeping a little bit ahead of the pace, but with that Marauder sitting back on that city tile, it might not be enough. We'll have to see how it works out. Hey, Zavi, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Now here comes the capture attempt from Team Base Capture. Rafanara is still having a little difficulty getting to that spot. Getting some nice damage against that Marauder, but it should be able to dart away to safety and do its job of preventing the capture. And now here comes the Swarmer push. Out comes the Boarfly to try and get some much-needed zoning control. Now that Marauder darting away to the health tile, and out comes the second Marauder to get the mecha kill. The mecha kill being absolutely devastating here. Team number 1 GGers really need to make that base capture here, and it just got blocked a second time by Traveler. And now here comes DS1415 with the Bopper to respond to that Boarfly control. Maybe push that Speeder and some of those Swarmers away. Now these Marauders are continuing to rotate in and out. Getting a nice neg-2 to one shot here. That Speeder dangerously low on health. All that is protecting that Boarfly from certain death. And now here comes the heal on that Speeder. These Swarmers are going to try and get a couple of shots against those Marines, but will a shot against Marine be enough? We're already, Team Base Capture already at a 200 over 0. Now number 1 GG is trying to keep up on pace. We are on round 6 here, though, and that's going to be the GG. Team Base Capture taking the next game. And that is all she wrote, folks. Team Base Capture making total abuse of those Marauders, using those Marauders to very deadly effect. I feel like Crawlians are just too weak on this map. I say that, but honestly, it's easy to say that, but it was really Rafnara who I think had a lot of difficulty because of the slowness of those mechas getting in position to this base. He was not able to make a single base capture. And then the only reason this capture was able to go down was because Niglord was able to get the initiative advantage. So I feel like Crawlian Titan was a really poor team decision on this map. I think you needed at least one safe player. I think if they had gone for Crawlian and Sapien instead of Crawlian and Titan, or even Titan and Sapien instead of Titan and Crawlian, one of you needed the Marauders, I think. I really think one of those team players needed the Marauders. These Marauders were able to rotate in and out so well, and they're at any point when they're on the attacking lines to this base, they can always dart away to the healing tile, and if they always had secondary options. They could get an attack, come back and sit back on the city tile and earn extra income, and they did very good management of rotation with those Marauders, and that's what won them these 2 rounds here. See a little bit of a discussion about the Marauders. I've definitely feel like having these ocean tiles made it really hard for these swarmers to maneuver properly, particularly this swarmer out here. When he was in this position, he just could not get over to these couple of squares where he really needed more zoning of control. All right. El Caster says, make a stream tile for aerials. What would that do exactly? That's an interesting idea. All right, guys. Well, why don't you guys carry on the discussion with that? I'm going to move on to the next round of matches here between our next competitors for the day, and it is going to be our competitors. Hold on, let me just get out to the matches. Uniduo and Terrestrial Swine. So I've been holding out on you guys. These are the matches that I was really looking forward to covering today. We are going to be seeing some very heavy hitters in this next couple of teams. Definitely both of these teams are capable of our grand level players for sure. These are all master level players, and this is the wrong map. That's round 4. Scusi. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show. So let's take a look at our competitors coming in first. Team 1 from Uniduo. Wow, what a group of players. We got KPAV04 and Kikoho. And Kikoho, also might I remind you, #1 slot on the championship 1v1 ladder. Outstanding player. He has made some serious waves. I haven't seen somebody dominate that top slot since Phobos left. So I think Kikoho is the champion level player that we've been looking for a while. I haven't seen anybody dethrone him. He's so good at getting to those round of fours, grand finals, semifinals, quarterfinals. He is a constant name in all these tournaments. So big shout out to player. I'd say Uniduo is potentially favorite team just because by virtue of their performance. They are a newer team, but I'd like to mention that they are coming in at a score of 17-15 on the standard ladder, the 2v2 ladder. They have not placed in any tournaments, but I think that they're a brand new team to tournaments. I think they were normally using this as a ladder team and only recently decided to bring it in. They're also currently playing in the Pro 2v2 match that is currently ongoing. Just finished the round 1, I believe. So definitely look for them to be a force in that matchup. But their opponents are not going to be small fry at all. We are looking at Team Terrestrial Swine coming in at a score of 16-27 and manned by none other than what is possibly a veteran dream team, Willingham and Earth, two of the best players in the game by far. And their team has done some pretty impressive stuff in tournaments before. Willingham, of course, we all know Earth, one of the top veterans of the game. He's been playing forever. He was on the ranked #1 on the standard ladder for quite a long time. After old Nate left, he was the #1 spot, and I think he's always been a better player than Talon, let's be honest. And then, of course, his partner Willingham, author of the Uniwar Calculator, and also came in second place, Willingham, September 15 championship. And the team itself, Terrestrial Swine, coming in they've made it to the quarterfinals during the Omen of Betrayal 2v2, which was, I thought Omen of Betrayal was a really, really difficult, the seeding was particularly difficult for that tournament, so to get to the quarterfinals, particularly impressive for tournament to do so. Also making it to the round of 24 in the Red Moon 2v2 tournaments. They did very well there as well. So this is going to be a really big match. And let me just turn up my music a little bit, because I got the Heart of the Swarm music playing today. I figured I'd switch it up from the standard StarCraft Brood War music. Don't know if you guys can notice or not. Anyways, now we're going to be seeing a Sapien and Kralian team for Kikoho and KPAV. This is an interesting choice. I really feel like this is a really good mix. It would have been maybe a little bit nicer if the Kralian player had the initiative turn instead of the turn 4. But you definitely need at least one Sapien on the map with all these roads. And then Willingham and Earth opting to go for the double Sapien, which, as you just recently saw in the previous roundup, is not something to be trifled with on this map. Those Marauder power can be so deadly. So it's all going to be about who can maintain the better zone of control in the center with those roads. And the outside ring, but particularly the center. Notice how they don't surrender. Enigma's making fun of me. We were recently playing in the Pro 2v2, and I still maintain that it's a glitch, but we won all 3 rounds, and then the game says that I hit the surrender button. So jury's still out on that one, but we did win those games, just for clarity's sake. All right, let's get this game underway. All right, guys. Playing on the left-hand side, on the northern corner, it will be for Team Uniduo, Kikoho playing as the White Kralian, and his teammate playing on the southern left-hand position as the Blue Sapiens. It will be for Team Uniduo, KPAV04. And, of course, their opponents playing on the northern right-hand side, playing as the Black Sapiens. It will be for Terrestrial Swine, Willingham, and his teammate playing on the southern right-hand side, playing as the Red Sapiens. It will be for Team Terrestrial Swine, Earth. Let's get this matchup underway. Now we've got KPAV4 opening with the Marine. Marauder coming out immediately from Earth, and the second Marauder coming out from Earth and Willingham both. And then out comes the Salamander. Interesting decision. I like the Salamander play from Kikoho. It makes it a little bit more difficult for those Marauders to kill it before he makes that base grab. Normally, I'd say go for the Underling with the better range, but the Salamander and the Underling can get to that base in the same amount of time. And here it comes his approach. And I don't think it's going to be able to get blocked. Although we do have these two Marauders instead deciding to bully K-Pav in the bottom, but he's opting not to go for the capture, but seeing if he can get the Marauder kill, and here goes the Marauder kill, and that's going to be a big kill for Team Uniduo. Might set back Terrestrial Swine. They're going to have to be careful with the remaining resources. Earth will make that last kill to make sure that the base capture is denied and keep that Marauder in its opening position. Now here comes Kikoho for the first capture of the game. With that Salamander, going to be a very nice secure capture. I don't think enough. There's also the fuse in the bottom right here from Willingham. Now Willingham pushing finally his Marine up here, making sure to keep on pace with Uniduo, making that capture. And now here comes the capture from Earth. And it's all going to come down to K-Pav making that successful capture to make sure that the pace is maintained between the two players. It's going to be very important that that capture goes down. Out comes the Swarmer as well with a little push out from that Salamander. And here comes the capture attempt from K-Pav. Will it be enough? Doing a very nice push with that Marauder out onto the health tile. And is that other Marauder going to get killed this turn? It could very well go down. That'd be a huge kill for Team Uniduo here. And down goes the Marauder and Team Uniduo, taking the 500 over 100 and keeping pace with the two base captures. Outstanding play, but here it comes. Will they be able to maintain it? I don't think the firepower exists, and the base capture is going to be successful. Outstanding play from Uniduo. Super excited. Now here comes the double fuse from Willingham to keep back those Marauders from making many more of an approach. Kikoho with the Underling and the Swarmer. Is it going to get another Marauder kill? Here it comes. A third Marauder kill on the board, and that is going to push Team Uniduo to 750 over 100. Talk about economical play. Doing a nice revolution of Marauders for K-Pav here. K-Pav getting a big +3 heal, then pulling that Marauder back. Getting another Marine and Marauder out on the play here. Now Willingham going to try and eliminate this Underling, but I think they need a little bit. They need some kills here, and they need them quick. I think they were a little bit daring with their Marauders in the beginning, trying to block those back. If the blocks had worked, then sacrificing the Marauders would have been better. But now here comes the maneuvering from these fuses. These fuses doing a pretty good job of ganging up on that Marauder, getting it down to a 3, and then only a 1-cost exchange for that other Marauder on the kill. But is it going to be enough? They're still down by 500 credits of material. And now here comes the rotation of Underlings, really reducing those Marines down to a 1 and a 5 health. Another Swarmer attack gets a -4 and possibly a 4th Marauder kill. That's going to be the 4th Marauder kill of the game for Team Uniduo, putting them at 1,000 credits over 350. And then more rotation. K-Pav doing an outstanding job of rotating in and out these Marauders, constantly finding use for even the lowest health of Marauders. And now that Marine going to get a very nice 8 hit against that fuse, and that fuse is going to be in a lot of trouble. Very susceptible to Marauder aggression now. Here comes Willingham trying to push back some of these Underlings. They desperately need at least a couple of kills here, but I don't think they have the firepower. It looks like he will get 2 Underling kills, but you need like 2 Underling kills and a Swarmer kill to really keep the pace going here. Now here comes Earth trying to help out his teammate. He will get the Salamander kill, but he has to take a -3 and Plague on that Marauder, and that's going to be very expensive going forward. Each unit extremely important for Team Terrestrial Swine. A very big -3 shot. Can this other Swarmer get the kill? The Swarmer does get the kill by itself. That is a huge kill for Team Uniduo, and that might be the final nail in the coffin. I don't think Terrestrial Swine can get back into this game. There's too much of a credit disadvantage here. Swarmers are starting to flood the board. These fuses here are about to take a big beating too. I think that Willingham is going to lose another one of his speeders. Sorry, Earth is going to lose another one of his speeders. And then a second one of his fuse. Double fuse kill here, and that should be that Team Uniduo here. Just a matter of playing cleanup here. And this Earth-infected Marauder, this Plague-infected Marauder, not long for this world. Not a whole lot of firepower left for Team Terrestrial Swine to respond with. That fuse will do actually a very uneven 4 to 6 exchange, but will he get the Swarmer kill? Not going to be enough. That was a pretty expensive exchange between the Swarmer and fuse. Even if it's a 50 credit, even if the fuse is 200 under the 250 for the Swarmer, at this point, your health points are all you have. More Marauders getting pumped out. It will be a very nice +3 and removal of Plague heal, but these Marauders need to be doing damage right now, not heals. Team Uniduo keeping a really good job of making sure they keep both of their competitors off balance here. Now Team Uniduo eyeing that base cap. We'll get the elimination on the fuse, and I think that base just might go down next turn. We are on round 8. Now it's a matter of how many rounds can they pull this win in. I wonder how many rounds that Terrestrial Swine can really push this back. I'm thinking with a little ingenuity, they could push it to round 11. Maybe round 12. Be tricky, but they could do it. Now these Marines are making their final push and assault. Another fuse coming in the back for K-Path. Here comes Willingham. Now Earth responding, trying to get one of those swarmer kills. Going to practically suicide that Marauder, but will it be enough for the kill? And he's going to release the cap, and that might just buy them an extra round. Big play here from Team Terrestrial Swine, recognizing that they're not going to make the win, but making that sacrifice with the Marauder for possibly an extra round of play. That base going to make it a lot harder to make an approach now. Now here comes Kikoho. Kikoho now going to have to push that underling onto the base, and instead of making the capture, going to have to use it for cover. Does get another Marauder kill, and a second Marauder kill on this turn, pushing Team Uniduo to 3,000 over 1.4. Now these Swarmers coming in for the final kills. Kikoho just sticking with Underling and Swarmer this whole game. Underling and Swarmer, Underling and Swarmer. Well, that and Salamanders. There's no need for them at this point. But the Salamanders on the early game I thought was a really, really good call. He put them to very good use. Now K-Pav just playing the last rounds of cleanup. They're on round 10. Can they take this round sooner than later is the question. I agree, San. Kai played a very, very, very clever game with those crawls. Absolutely decimated the northern hemisphere of the map. Now Willingham once again freeing that base position. That might even buy them yet another round. And there's the GG. Team Uniduo finally taking the win in 10 rounds. Wow, what a match. This was a really, really bloody match here. Particularly, I thought, I really, really liked the decision from Kikoho. Let's get the center map off here for a second. I really like the decision from Kikoho to go with the opening on the Salamander. Salamander makes this base capture a lot more secure. Makes us, it makes the Marauder player a lot more weary of coming up on the top and trying to make the aggression. And as you see, they opted to go instead of against the Crawl player, who I think would be a little bit weaker to Marauder aggression if they had gone for the Underling. Because the Salamanders are out here, and you have double Salamanders, very effective against Marauders, particularly if they're on these those road tiles. They decide to go for the aggression against the Marine instead. And this gives, it's a slightly weaker play because K-Pav is able to build Marauders of his own, which as you can see, he uses to effect, manages to push that Marauder out, decides to abandon the capture in favor of the credit advantage, and makes that first game kill. And this really puts a stone in the shoe of Team Terrestrial Swine. They really needed, if you're going to go for that early Marauder aggression, you really don't want to lose the Marauder while doing it. It puts them at a major pacing disadvantage. Now Earth has to make, he's going to have to push this unit back up to this base, wait to make the, even longer possibly to make the base capture, get the Marauder again, then push out the Marauder. It just sets them behind like a full round of time. And meanwhile, you've got Kikoho ready to make this base capture right away, and it forces the hand of Terrestrial Swine to focus on maintaining the base capture as opposed to making the base capture prevention. You'll see that Team Earth makes the kill, keeps it here for the block to prevent harassment from this Marauder against this position. They need this base capture to go down. Then on the next round, if I can find it, opts to pull, instead of making harassment, there's no more harassment. He decides to go for the fuse instead of the Marauder, just because it's a more defensively sound idea, I suppose. I think, did they have enough for a Marauder before this was created? Last round? I'm not sure. No, he did not. He only had the 200, hence the fuse. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. He can't just build nothing. He has to build something. This is why losing the Marauder was such a big deal. I think they would have been better off possibly hogging up one of these city tiles instead of going for the full base denial, because it doesn't work. That's the thing. The Marine is still able to maintain its position up here because you have to pull the Marauder back. That Marine is allowed to make his approach, and then everybody makes the same amount of base captures, and the pacing seems to stay even, except that now, as you make that exchange, look, Uniduo is 1,000 over 350. They've got 4 Marauder kills on you, and that's at this point, this position, round 7, the writing is kind of in the walls by now. Anybody knows how many players there are in Uniwar? Oxygen is 6. I've heard a lot of speculation on that question. I'm going to put his comment out here so everyone can see it. I thought it was an interesting comment. I don't know. I've heard numbers from... I know that there's like 500,000 downloads on the Android store, almost as many on the iPhone store. But as far as concurrent players, I think it's like 4,000. That's a number I'm pulling out of my ass that I've heard before. I'm not really sure. It's on the Uniwar website. Well, there's definitely like how many people are playing all the time. I'm not sure. I think it could be a lot more than 4,000. It could be a lot less. I'm just making an estimate. Let's get on to the next match, everyone. All right. So Team Uniduo taking. Oh, I thought that was a 39-round game, but that wasn't a 30 round. So Team Uniduo taking a 10-round victory over Terrestrial Swine. Earth and Willingham now going to have to fight within 10 rounds in order to take the win here. Let's move on to the next match. And now just to take a look at our war report, Willingham will be taking first round pick on this game, and then Earth will be taking the 4th. So again, Willingham going first, and then Earth playing the credit mop-up. Then Team Uniduo, K-Pav going first, has the initiative again, but on the second round, and with Kikoko falling immediately behind him with the crawl. Let's see if they can pull off that same kind of very successful early game defense against aggression. I'm interested to see if there's going to be some big shifts in the strategy, considering the differentiation of the turn layout. Let's get this game underway, playing on the northern right side, playing as the White Sapiens for Team Terrestrial Swine. It will be Earth, and his teammate playing on the bottom left-hand side as the Black Sapiens for Team Terrestrial Swine. It will be Willingham, and of course his opponent up in the top right-hand side playing as the Yellow Sapiens for Team Uniduo. It will be KPAV04, and of course his teammate, none forget who played such a successful crawl game last time, playing as the Red Crawlians for Team Uniduo. It will be Kikoho. Let's get this matchup underway. Now Willingham opening up with that Marauder immediately, and then a Marine coming out from KPAV. Another Salamander for Kikoho, and another Marauder for Willingham. So it looks like Willingham and Earth opting to go for that Marauder opening. Once again, trying to sit on top of that credit, on top of that city, and getting some extra credits. Here comes that Salamander push. Once again from Kikoho, seeing very similar openings from Team Uniduo. Now Earth deciding to be aggressive with that Marauder. Once again, here comes Willingham to follow up and make the base cap, and looks like they're taking no chances in immediately blocking in that Marauder to avoid that same mistake last time where that Marauder kill happened off. Can he block this Marauder kill? And it looks like Team Uniduo going to be in a bit of a tight spot here. That Salamander capture is going to be successful here, but Team Terrestrial Swine going to be able to make possibly a pacing advantage here. Retreating that Marauder back to the health tile. Willingham setting himself up for the capture, and here comes Earth with his first capture to keep on pace with Team Uniduo. Willingham retreating that Marauder back to the back of the map where it'll be much safe from aggression. And now here comes KPAV's second attempt to make that base capture with that Marine, and that Salamander coming up to defend that position as well, making sure that that capture goes off on the next round. Now here comes Team Terrestrial Swine. They're going to try. Can they focus down a Marauder kill? I don't think it looks like they're going to try, and they're going to get the Marauder kill right away, opting instead to push that fuse up, and that fuse can also make that capture. So Willingham now also pushing up his fuses. Very interesting decision by Earth. I like the decision to go for the early credit kill. We do see 350 over 0. That could be very dangerous for Team Uniduo. And now Uniduo finally going for that base capture port, though. Can this be deflected? It very well might be possible with that fuse on the board. And now Kikoho coming in with that Swarmer Underling Salamander mix that we saw last game. And that Salamander going to take a big 3-bite out of that Marauder, giving it the Plague. Willingham and Earth immediately removing that Plague with a heal. Getting the Nick 3. Is there enough to get the kill here? Oh, they're going to be just shy of the kill. Oh, wait, no, I misspoke. Here comes the Marauder for the follow-up, and the base is deflected by the skin of their teeth. Wow, great play from Terrestrial Swine, and now it looks like they're going to maintain the pacing advantage that they've built up at a 350, 450, under 350. Unidual having to readjust their strategy here. And now Kikoho trying to get some aggression against that Marauder. Another Marauder kill here will put Team Uniduo in the lead. Finally taking the lead at 600 over 450. More Salamanders coming out the board. We also see a helicopter here. Helicopter, an interesting decision with those ocean tiles blocking some of its pathway. Its versatility is kind of reduced on this map, but I see its potential against those swarmers. Now these fuses taking some double cities. Terrestrial Swine doing a really good job of sitting atop the cities when it's convenient and earning some extra income potential. Goes a nice little -7 against that underling. Keeping her helicopter on the point to defend the fuse. Terrestrial Swine, they're at 750, but they've also had a couple of turns with those city tiles, and I haven't seen Uniduo really taking advantage of the city tiles, and that might come back to bite them in the ass later in the game. More heals off of K-Hap's Marauders. A second Marauder coming up on the board for K-Hap. Now here comes Kikoho with a very nice 1-2 punch against that copter. And then a second neg-3 on that copter with the Plague is going to push it to only a 3 health next turn. That copter is in a lot of trouble here. A lot of swarmers on the board. There's enough to take off that copter next turn if it is not careful. That would be disastrous for Terrestrial Swine, who is maintaining a slight pacing advantage, but only by the skin of their teeth. More of these fuses coming out here. The fuse will get a nice elimination on that Salamander. And going to eliminate that underling to prevent that city income from being applied. Helicopter going to dart back to the back. I think it should be safe from attack for now. But he's going to have to use another turn to put it up to a health tile, and then just second turn after that just to get the heal. Now here comes Team Uniduo, hungrily eyeing some of these fuses, getting a couple of fuse kills. There's one fuse kill, and then a second fuse kill, and just like that, Team Uniduo reclaiming the lead at 1.2 over 1.1. Now here comes the Swarmer, getting yet more fuse kills, continuing to hammer away at these fuses. These fuses are taking a big beating, a -8 against the fuse, and suddenly Terrestrial Swine's lead in a very precarious position. They need to make the space capture this turn, or it could be lights out. Darting that fuse away, still trying to get a couple of extra points of damage off of them. That's actually a pretty nice combination with that Marauder and the fuse on the back, also to collect the city tile credit advantage. More aggression coming from the screen fuse and marine combination. Now that helicopter will dart back and still has to wait again and sacrifice another health just to get the heal. Meanwhile, K-Pav making economical use of that Marauder, getting another couple of kills. Team Terrestrial Swine did a good job of keeping it at 1.5 on a 1.6. They could maintain the pacing. Looks like the pacing is finally going to be evened out here. These Swarmers are just doing a lot of damage. These Swarmers have been dictating the pace of the game the whole time. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the post-game. Now more Marines coming out from Earth. Got another Marauder with that fuse. That fuse cautiously staying in the back where it can avoid some harm. And now here comes Willingham. He's managed to hold on to that extra city base credits. Now he's going to do a big exchange, a 7 for a 4 exchange on that Swarmer. These fuses keep getting some extra health, but will it be enough? Now those Marauders getting some big heals on those health tiles. Uniduo, man. K-Pav has been playing so well with these Marauders, making really, really good decisions about when to bring them in and when to return them out. Making sure that every little point of damage counts. Can he get a kill on top of the city? And that is going to be a big, big move for Kikoho. Going to put a 2.2 over 1.6 with a city tile possession. And another kill putting a 2.5 over 1.6 and then 2.7. And that might very well be all she wrote, folks. And there's the GG, just as I predicted. Team Uniduo taking both games in a 10-round victories. Wow. Wow, so it looks like Sapien Kralian was the team to go for. Or maybe it was just about how they played him. I think we saw a lot of fuses this game, which I think in this mid-game play here, when we first saw them coming out, wasn't actually a bad decision. They have a lot of versatility. They can push back these Marines, particularly good at pushing back these freaking underlings and making sure that this position, and this position are a lot less secure for Kralian to push onto. I thought Kikoho did a really, really good instincts on bringing this Salamander up to this position here. It gave them a lot of control. I thought one of the moves that I really thought that Terrestrial Swine could take the win after this move was just gonna skip ahead here. Yeah, so we have the base capture attempt come out from KPAV with the Marauder to follow for the protection and eliminate that one Marine. And I thought this was I might love to do like a tactical rounds video or something about this. I thought this was such a great example of how to get a good base deflection on a team mat. So here comes what I really liked about this decision is Kikoho's got the Salamander, the Underling, and the Swarmer. That's a lot of pressure on these attacking points around the base. And keep in mind that the fuse is only going to be able to come to these positions right here to attack it, possibly here. The Salamander has control over this entire region. The Underling can get control on this spot, this spot, this spot, and then the Swarmer has control over this entire arc of regions. So that's a lot of zone of control with these three units. Keeps this base capture a lot more secure. However, you see that Salamander pushing up even further. I really like this decision. I thought this was an interesting decision from Earth to sacrifice the health on this Marauder, push the fuse up, bring it down to the 1 health, and then leave it for the 5. This is a really risky base deflection. But it does the job. It was really important. It would have been so much sweeter if this Marine had already been making the capture attempt, but you guess you can't have everything. I thought this was an interesting decision. Now, this Marauder and this Marauder are gone, though. That's the power of having these backup units in this positioning. Yes, the Marauders make the deflection, but you win the credit war on the next turn, pushing up. They just Team Uniduo manages to just keep the pacing advantage every turn. 1.4 over 1.1, 1.9 over 1.5, and then 2.7 over 1.6. And I think having this positioning here gave him he decided to go south, but it pushed back any more offenses on this point. It allowed the capture to go down, and then because they had to divert forces back, allowed him to readjust his swarmers into the southern position, where he had full southern hemisphere on lockdown control. And that's what really won them the match. Outstanding series played by Uniduo. Wow, they're going to be a really difficult team for team base capture to take out in the grand finals. And I got a treat for you guys. Guess what? When I first announced that we were going to play this game, well, when I was going to play the 2v2 tournament, it was still in progress. But just guess what just finished today? The Grand Finals series. That's right, we got 2 more whole games coming up for you. We're actually going to watch the Grand Finals right here, right now, between Team Uniduo and Team Base Capture. All right? Just give me 2 minutes. I got to get a drink, and we will get the matchup underway. 2 minutes, everyone. Don't go anywhere. Easy Scouting 2v2 Grand Finals coming up in just a moment. All right, guys. Thanks for being patient and waiting. Just needed a drink there. Whew. Gets thirsty work, hard on the throat to do all this casting. By the way, while I have you guys all here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Always helps my little channel out. Wanted to also just say I'm thinking heavily about transitioning from YouTube gaming to Twitch. Not so sure. Still on the fence about it. But, excuse me. But let me know what you guys think about that in the chats and the forums. Maybe I'll do a voting on it. I'm still working on a whole new setup, so we'll see if that works out or not. I'm really interested in me giving it a go, though. There's a whole bunch of incentives to do it on Twitch. It is the superior platform. It's just that YouTube gaming has been more convenient for. It's been more convenient for streaming on mobile. Don't worry, Enigma. I'll give you guys the full 2 minutes. We'll start in just a sec. I needed a break, too. Get the match set up while we're waiting. I'll get it set up in a second. Who's excited about having the ads come out onto the game? I really think it's exactly what the game needed. I'm so glad that the ad for unit feature is finally out. I'm so tired of having this pay-to-win argument about the game that we all know and love. And if you haven't, by the way, guys, just because the ads are out, personally, I would recommend making at least, maybe a purchase a flare or something. Just Zabi works really hard on this game. So, I mean, I got all the content for free, and I still paid into all the units just because I love playing the game and I wanted to support the develop team. So, if you haven't, just, give back to the game. We love you guys. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to know what my upcoming streaming schedule is going to look like, just log on and follow my Twitter accounts. The Twitter account is the one that I've really been using to make announcements. It's at EnnuiGoblin. It's in the comment section. So if you haven't done that already, just follow me on Twitter, and every time I do a stream, you'll get a little notification on the schedule. I'm thinking about adding some more dates this week. I'm thinking about doing scheduling a stream for Wednesday this week, and then again next Sunday. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, so I think that's a little bit over 2 minutes. So we're going to get started. Let's jump right into the Easy Scouting 2v2 Grand Final matches. I'm so glad that this got finished up today. I'm really excited for this match. I was worried. I thought that we'd have to wait like a week or so in order to watch the Grand Finals. But I think they just finished up like today or yesterday. It was very, very recently that these matches got finished up. And I just noticed it as I was setting up for my prep work for the stream today. So we got a little bit of treat. We're not going to be done here. We're going to move directly into the Game 6. Round 6, excuse me, not Game 6. And this is going to be very, very, very different. Oh, thanks, San. I actually hit, I know I hit 2070 earlier than this. I actually got as high as 2110. And then I hit a 3-game losing streak and moved back down to 2070. So I was at 2110 earlier, just yesterday. But we'll see. This is definitely a very city spammy map, but there's a lot of different options that can come out of it. We're seeing a couple of interesting team choices here. So Team Uniduo, looks like on this first matchup here, the game 1, Uniduo going to get the first round move with K-Pav playing as the Sapiens and Kikoho now opting to switch from Crawlian back up to Titan. I think on this map, Speeder's going to have a big play. I kind of was expecting to see a Sapien out of them. But I imagine the Speeders and... Not really sure why Titans would play so well on this map. And then an even more interesting, Team Base Capture going for double Titan. I don't see a lot of double Titan teams. I imagine City Control... Maybe Titans can do a lot of City Control. With such a spammy map, you might get some high credit counts. Maybe they can put out some heavy artillery. I'm not really sure what to expect here. I definitely will say this. I love Team Base Capture. I'm rooting for Team Base Capture because I love me an underdog, but that's exactly what they are here. They're the underdog. Team Uniduo, definitely the favorite team to take this match. I'd love to see Team Base Capture take the win, or at the very least, I really want to see Team Base Capture pull at least one win. But we'll have to see how it plays out here. They're going to have their work cut out for them. They can do it. They can do it. I really believe that Team Base Capture has what it takes, but they're going to have to work really, really hard. That's not to say, and then Team Uniduo, it's not like they're going to be handed the victory, so we'll have to see. Fear the Impaler, it's all on the forum if you want to go. The 0.97 release is it's the 0.96 for 0.97 is on beta, and the official release is being approved by the Play Store and the Android Store. So, or the App Store and the Play Store for the Android. So. And also for Amazon. So once the platforms have approved everything, then you'll be able to play the new update with the ads. Until then, we have to wait. That shouldn't take long. The Android one usually does it like same day or next day, and then the App Store usually takes about a week. They're a little bit longer. So once it's all up to the platforms now. The updates have been released. We're just waiting for approval on them. All right, so let's get the map. Let's get this game underway. I want to quickly look at the map here. This map is Paradiso by Cork. Each credit is going to have 150. Each base will have 150 credits. Everyone opens initial credits of 150 credits. The bases are worth 100, so each one of these cities is worth 50 credits. I think that managing when to step on the city and when to push forward is the key here. These rows will be really important in making base capture attempts, but I really feel that it's this row of cities and these three rows are going to be the contested rows that really determine if you can control this center back area or this center back area. That's going to be what really gets you the win here on the long term. So without any further ado, let's get the matchup underway. Playing on the northern right-hand side as the Red Titans for Team Base Capture, it will be Traveler. And of course, his teammate playing on the northern right-hand side as the Yellow Titans for Team Base Capture will be DS1415. And playing on their opponents on the southern left-hand side, playing as the White Titans for Team Uniduo, it will be our champion, Kikoho. And his partner playing on the bottom right-hand side as the Blue Sapiens. It will be for Team Uniduo, KPAV04. Let's get this matchup underway. And now KPAV having the opening option will go with immediately to Marauder. All players are going to be stepping on those cities. You can expect everyone to step on those cities right away, making sure that they keep pace with that credit advantage. I'd really like to see an update on the game where we see the credit income from the bases versus the credit income in the city on the action bar. That would be really cool. And now here comes Base Capture with that speeder and mecha trying to push back that other speeder and take control of some of these more city tiles. Immediately a couple of skirmishes, but both that Marauder and speeder are going to be landing on those health tiles where they'll be able to regenerate very quickly. Now here comes KPAV. More mechas coming out onto the board, and it looks like KPAV just might be getting this kill here. And down goes the speeder kill. That's going to be a huge opening kill for Team Uniduo. Now Traveler going to have to respond. Traveler opting to put more mechas on cities, and instead of retaliating, earning more income to keep up with the loss of that speeder. KPAV darting that Marauder back, getting a nice big +3 heal on it. It's doing a very good job of holding on to these cities with these Marines. A lot of Marines out on the board. Another Marauder coming out for KPAV. Now Base Catcher. Traveler putting more Marines on. Still trying to keep pace. They're a little bit behind with the speeder, but it's not over yet. But those speeders have to be very, very careful. They cannot afford to lose a second speeder. And with that said, here comes Kikoho, pushing out his speeder, trying to get a kill on one of those mechas up on that city plot. More mechas getting pumped out onto those city tiles. So here comes KPAV now with more heals. Can he get a nice little mecha kill? Big mecha kill here that's worth 150 instead of just 100, considering that mecha was on top of that city tile. More Marauders coming out from K-Pav, and now here comes Traveler trying to respond. Can he get a kill on this Mecha? The Mecha has been moved deliberately off the city tile in order to get away from that negative bonus on its defense and attack, and it will whittle away these speeders a little bit, but the 8 health does land on the healing tile, so it should be mitigated pretty well. Now Traveler continue to place his mechas on top of these city tiles. Interesting decision from DS1415, putting his, well, I wouldn't say interesting, but deciding to put that 7 health speeder on the city tile in the back. Now these Marauders doing what they do so well, darting in and out, getting damage. Those mechas very vulnerable on those city tiles, and now Team Base Capture in a lot of trouble. They are only at 2 cities versus 5 cities, plus at a 700 over 800 over 100. I can't even keep up. Team Base Capture in a lot of trouble here. They got to make some big kills and quick. Now here comes Traveler, getting a nice 4-3 exchange. Can he get the kill here? I don't think he's got enough, even with that 10 health in the back. And that 10 health in the back, actually, he's going to just be able to reach. Does get the kill, but that kill is coming a little bit late. He needed that kill earlier. He does land the 4 health speeder on that healing tile, so if he can get the +6 heal on that speeder right away, that would the +4 heal, I mean, that would be huge. Definitely be huge. It looks like Hikoho going to have to try and push back some of these mechas, not wanting to let them get any sort of positioning on their southern hemisphere. Also bringing that other speeder on the right-hand side to assist the Marauders of K-Pav. And here comes K-Pav finishing what Hikoho started and getting that nice little mecha kill before it can even leave its base. And that is going to prevent even more city income for Team Base Capture. K-Pav doing a very nice decision. I like this decision to attack on the city tiles. You don't usually see that very much, but I guess on a city spam map it makes a lot more sense. And now we've got, again, 4 cities to 0 cities for Uniduo versus Base Capture. That's very dangerous. Base Capture, the writing's on the wall here. The matter is, how long can they hold on? I don't think they can make it to round 10. Round 10 would give them enough time to formulate a plan that lets them come out with the overall win on the next game. So they got to survive at least 3 more rounds. I say round 9, make it a little deadly. Round 10 is their minimum. I think they need at least 10 rounds to take a win. So they got to make it that long here. Now here comes Team Uniduo. Trying to get a surround. Opting to go for a spam on his mechas. Now these Marauders from K-Pav starting to circle this group of speeders on the left-hand side. Pushing those Marauders back up to full health. There is the cap up here on the top. And will that capture go down this turn? Here it comes from K-Pav. Very dangerous base capture. If this base capture goes down, it's going to be lights out really, really, really quickly for Team Base Capture. They have to repel this. It looks like they're not even going to try. I don't think that they can reach it from where they are. Those speeders are not in a good place to defend that northern right base. Now Base Capture trying to whittle down these mechas before they get any chance to position themselves on the city tiles. But at great risk to the health of his speeders. All players have been doing a really good job, particularly the Titan players have done a really good job of keeping their speeders on those health tires after attacking. All players are really doing that, though. I mean, the healing tiles, I love the positioning with the healing tiles that I've seen today. Can that kill go down with these Marines? And it looks like the kill will be taken on the speeder. And not only that, but the kill allows them 2 Marines to stay on those city tiles, and that is going to be very, very difficult hill. It's just, we've only got 1 player left for Team Base Capture. Uniduo leisurely sitting on top of those speeders. And now Traveler, last player for his team, has to try and make something happen here. He's going to be able to push it up to round 10, though. Maybe even 11 or 12. How many rounds does he have left? How many rounds can he hold off the wall? More heals coming off on these Marauders. Neg 2 to neg 3, but he can rotate it right back. That's the problem with these Marauders. They can sacrifice almost all their health and still be useful by darting back to a city tile and earning more income off of the health they just lost. And another speeder kill. We're on round 10 here. Those Marines starting to push dangerously close towards Traveler's remaining base. Fear the Impaler says round 11. Lord, not over 12. All right, everyone, place your bets. Place your bets. If you want to bet unicorns, now would be the time to do it. And that's the GG Uniduo taking the round in 10. Wow. I think he could have extended it a little further, but we'll have to see how they did on the next roundup. And then Enigma asks, what's the next round? I've got one more game coming up, Enigma. Last game of this tournament for the grand finals. And it looks like Team Base Capture has to take it within 10 rounds in order to catch the win. Let's move it on immediately. And so we're going to have our first game going to Team Uniduo over Team Base Capture on a 10-round victory for Team Uniduo. Oh, wait. No. That's the match we just watched. Excuse me. All right, let's do this. Come on. All right. I win all the coins. All right. Now, no big changes except for positioning of the turns. Traveler now going to be taking the first round turn, then second round turn, and third going to K-Pav, and then Kikoho. Still playing as Sapien and Titans, and then fourth round going to DS14-15. Team Base Capture still playing as Double Titans. And now we're going to be playing. This will be our last game of the evening, everyone, and then it will be lights out. Let's get this matchup underway. Playing on the northern... Hold on, I'm going to take one sip of my water before I start. Voice starting to hurt a little bit. Excuse me. Much better. All right. Playing on the northern right side as the Red Sapiens for Team Uniduo, it will be K-Pav 04 and his teammate playing on the northern right-hand side, playing as the White Sapiens for Team Uniduo, it is Kikoho. And playing on the southern left-hand side as the Green Titans for Team Base Capture, it will be DS14-15. And his teammate playing on the bottom right-hand side as the Blue Titans, it will be for Team Base Capture, Traveler. Let's get this matchup underway. Traveler taking the first option to go for that middle city tile on his surround there. Practically, here comes the Marauder. And Kikoho opted to go for the speeder immediately. Also a speeder mecha opening for K-Pav. Now here comes another mecha. That Marauder, instead of going for the city tile, deciding to step onto that health tile will be much safer. These health tiles, healing tiles, quickly getting dominated, and now it looks like DS14 opting not to go for that healing tile just yet. Here comes the first aggression from Traveler. Looks like K-Pav wants to start playing around with that Swarmer, that speeder at the bottom immediately. A lot of Marines getting pumped out from K-Pav as well. Kikoho and K-Pav now having a 4-base advantage, having a 4-city over 2 cities advantage, 3 cities advantage, forcing Base Capture to push all of their mechas back onto these city tiles and keep pace. And it looks like Team Base Capture actually going to have 5 cities over 4 cities if they can hold on this round. More speeders coming out for Team Base Capture as well. And now K-Pav continue juggling around, and it looks like they're just trying to keep pace with each other on deciding where am I going to place all of my units on these city tiles. And now Kikoho opted to take one of his mechas off of the city tiles, finding it acceptable to be... Oh, no, excuse me. They're both at... they're at a 5-4 disadvantage on the city tiles, are they? Nope, 5 to 5. My bad. Now that 3 health Marauder mecha pulling off, going onto that tree where it'll be a little bit more secure. Continue to just kind of probe and joust at each other with these speeders, but no one really wanted to commit to a heavy attack just yet. We'll get the nice first blood for Team Base Capture, but they're on round 5. They need to start making something happen quick here. Can they get the advantage that they're looking for? Out comes the teleport to the other side to block out that Marauder. Now Team Uniduo kind of leisurely taking their time. They know that they've got the timing advantage and that the stress is on their opponent's base capture to make something happen here. And they will get a nice little kill for free, I might add. A very free kill since that mecha was teleported. But it will keep that speeder safe from being eliminated. Now that speeder here going to joust back against that mecha on the healing tile. And it looks like that speeder will be able to finish that mecha. And now Team Uniduo taking a 200 over 100 advantage on round 5. We got to see something big happen. I thought that was a strange teleport too, Impaler. I think that speeder health was very important, though. They can't let that get whittled down to like a 4. Then it's useless. And if it's whittled down to a 4, then you can't push it up and claim the healing tile. So actually, it makes a lot more sense the more I think about it. Now here comes Traveler, hungrily trying to get down the speeder kill. And I think he will get the speeder kill with the mecha on the positioning. But he is going to lose out on city captures. All right, now Team Base Capture is taking a 350 over 200 advantage, but will it be enough to take the win here overall? Uniduo fighting back, putting those Marines off the city tiles to attack at those speeders and mechas. And it looks like another mecha kill on the board here. This Marauder and that speeder are jousting each other on the healing tile. Can he get the kill? I don't think he has. Oh, he has the full health Marauder in the back, and that'll be just enough to get the kill. And down goes the speeder. And Team Uniduo once again reclaiming their lead at a 550 over 350 advantage. But we're not done yet. Kikoho now taking advantage of the fact that that speeder is sitting on the health city tile. That might have been a bit of a blunder to leave it there. Very vulnerable, and that is going to put Uniduo at 800 over 350. And I think this just might be it, folks. Here comes DS 1415 to try and even the odds up, but losing that speeder was devastating. He needed that speeder to stay where it was. Those heals are going off, but will they be enough? Double Titan's worst rap album of all time. I would buy a copy. Bet your ass I would. Another mecha kill potentially coming here. Whittling it down to 2. There's another mecha kill. And now there's just not enough credits on the board for Team Base Capture to take a win, let alone a win in 10 rounds. And that Marauder is going to be making a last elimination on that mecha. And he's going to be able to get a nice little exchange against that speeder too. Whittle it down even further to a 3 against 7. Kikoho just pumping out more mechas. There's no need to take any rush here. They've got the advantage, so they can just kind of leisurely play it safe. Now these speeders here are going to try and eliminate that last remaining speeder. I think he's got just enough firepower to make it happen. Is he going to keep it on that city tile? No, he's going to dart it off and safely keep it where it won't get that neg to its net penalty to its defense. Base Capture desperately trying to get another speeder kill. It would be helpful, and he will get the speeder kill, and it puts him at only 700 under 1.3. Can they make something happen here? That would be amazing. Doubtful, but amazing. Now Uniduo taking a second away from their assault, possibly to take a breath. No, he's going to continue to double down. Taking that nice little neg 4, planting it back on the healing tile with the full health. Marauder will be able to get all the way down there for the kill. And that should be all she wrote for Team Base Capture. No, won't be long now. They're in a lot of trouble. Now that Marauder going to be able to get that last finish. And can he get the cap? And there's the cap. And now that is going to take DS out of the match for good. There's no way for him to get back unless his teammate Traveler can get back and redefend that position. I don't think they can retake it, and that might be the end. Another mecha kill for Team Unit Duo. Base capture here. Trying to make something happen, but it looks like that Marauder is very well protected. I don't think that any of those speeders can get to that position, and it looks like DS-1415 has been taken out of the match. Fear the Impaler, they won in 10 rounds, not 9 rounds. Here comes that full health Marauder. Can they get the kill on that healing tile speeder? That'd be huge. Give them a lot more board control in the center. Got just about everything they need for a win. And there's no priming pressure, actually. They've already won the last match. Here comes the base capture. That will be all she wrote completely, officially, for DS-1415 taken out of this tournament for good. And it's now down to base capture's remaining opponent, remaining player, Traveler. It looks like even more of these speeders are going to get eliminated. I don't think that Spleamer is going to be surviving very long. Nope, there it goes. Just keeping as many because leisurely on these city tiles, making sure that they're income advantage. And there's the GG. Team Unit Duo taking both rounds in 10. Both matches in 10. Outstanding. Wow. Wow. Kikoho and K-Pav, man, they've got some synergy going on. That game that they played against Terrestrial Swine against Earth and Willingham, what outstanding Marauder and Salamander control from both players. Really, really good decisions the whole way through. They absolutely earned this title. And congratulations to our champions, Team Unit Duo, KPAV04, and Kikoho. Congratulations on yet another championship title. Good for you guys. I'm glad to see it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining my live stream. If you have not done so already, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Always helps my little channel out. Once again, I'll be opening up a discussion later on the forum about whether or not to be switching to Twitch. There'll be a lot more to talk about it then. Don't forget to check out my next stream coming out on Wednesday. And if you want to stay updated, make sure you have joined me on at EnnuiGoblin on Twitter and at EnnuiGoblin on Facebook. You can always email me questions at EnnuiGoblinUniwar@gmail.com. Until next time, guys, this is EnnuiGoblin signing out.